Arsenal beating Aston Villa 4-1 last night at the Emirates was not just a win, that was a statement. Because that game was a huge test of Arsenal's title credentials. We've seen how good Villa have been over the last few months. Arsenal, they looked as if they were struggling in the past few weeks in the Premier League. But that win last night was a statement. And when you look at the margin of the scoreline, 4-1, you would think that this was a game that Arsenal had it all their way all through the game. If you watch that game, you would agree with me that that wasn't actually what happened, because this game was actually a game of two halves. In the first half, Villa were so good, they won the midfield battle. They took control of the midfield. Arsenal's midfield partnership of Zubimendi and Mikel Merino. Declan Rice was unavailable for Arsenal last night, so they had to rely on the partnership of Merino and Zubimendi in that midfield. And surprisingly, it didn't really work out in the first half, because these guys, they used to play as a duo for Real Sociedad in La Liga. And at the time, they used to be one of the best midfield duos in the whole of Spain. So, of course, maybe because of the fact that they have not really played so many games together in that position in this Arsenal system, perhaps they were still getting to grips with each other's games in this new system that they are playing in at Arsenal. But in the second half, we saw a different Arsenal team. In the first half, Villa were winning possession high up the pitch repeatedly. Time and time again, Villa stole the ball on numerous occasions from Arsenal in the midfield. Arsenal could not cope with Aston Villa's high press in that first half. And I think the only reason why Villa did not go into halftime leading like 2-0 was because of the wastefulness of the likes of Oli Watkins and their forwards. They didn't really have that end product to go with the effective pressing that they had. And that's one thing with these great sides. Once you miss your opportunities against them, you are going to suffer for it. I was expecting that they were going to be punished in the second half, because there was absolutely no way that Arteta was not going to correct a few things at halftime. And we saw that like almost immediately they came back. Arsenal were a totally different side. They look rejuvenated. They scored from a set piece again. Arsenal have missed Gabriel. Kudos to their squad depth, the likes of Hincapie. They have stepped up brilliantly in the absence of Gabriel Magalhaes. But Arsenal with Gabriel at the back and Gabriel attacking set pieces, Arsenal is a whole different level of threat. You saw what he offered last night. Incredible leadership, incredible character, incredible professionalism. Like, it rubs off on the rest of the team. Look at the way this guy was celebrating blocks as if he had scored a goal. And he actually did score a goal. He scored the opener from the corner kick for Arsenal. And Arsenal continued to look so dangerous on set pieces. That defensive partnership of Gabriel and Saliba has to be one of Arsenal's biggest and greatest weapons this season. Those guys, they look impregnable at the back. And Aston Villa, really, they couldn't find a way past that Arsenal team. Arsenal were devastating in the second half. That's the mark of a team that wants to win the title. Like, I've expected Arsenal to fall on so many occasions in the last few weeks. Against Brighton, against Everton, I expected that Arsenal would fall. Somehow they have been surviving. And this game against Villa, let me be very honest, this was the one that I was putting my eyes on, that Arsenal would have dropped points in this game. Villa just beat them a few weeks ago. Their record against Villa in the last few years has not been the best. But last night, they made a statement. A 4-1 win. Like, you don't win 4-1 by chance. You win 4-1 due to quality, due to personality, due to character and mindset. This is a team that is serious about winning the title. And at this point, I don't think anybody can begrudge Arsenal winning the title this season. Even though, personally, I want Man City to win it, because I like Pep Guardiola. I like Man City. I feel like Man City are like a younger version of Barcelona. You know, that kind of younger bro vibe. That's what I get from Man City as a Barca fan. So I'm leaning more towards Man City in the title race. But I don't think anyone can begrudge Arsenal if they end up winning the title. Incredible performance from them, especially in the second half last night. In the first half, Villa were clearly the better side. They won the midfield battle. Arsenal could not cope with their high pressing. So many turnovers in midfield. And Merino and Zubimendi, initially they struggled. But in the second half, what we saw from Villa in the first half, that's what Arsenal were doing in the second half. Because in the second half, they were the ones winning the ball back high up the pitch. And that's how they got about the second goal. Odegaard winning possession back, and a late run from Zubimendi. He laid the ball perfectly for him, and he finished past Emi Martinez. And Aston Villa, they couldn't believe their eyes. In the twinkle of an eye, they were 2-0 down. Before you know it, Trossard scored, and Gabriel Jesus coming back from injury, his very first goal back from injury. And you always love such comeback stories because this guy tore his ACL. It has been a difficult last 1 year for him as an Arsenal player. So it's always refreshing when you see a player coming back and then doing what he loves doing. He scored a great goal to make it 4-0. Even though Oli Watkins got a consolation goal for Villa, it was nothing short of a consolation because after going on this incredible 11-game winning run in all competitions, 8 consecutive victories in the Premier League, Aston Villa have finally been beaten, and it had to be Arsenal. That shows you why Arsenal are top of the table. That shows you why they want to win the title this season. Congratulations to Arsenal on an amazing performance last night. A huge test that was awaiting you guys last night at Emirates Stadium, and you guys passed that test with flying colors. Arsenal are now 5 points ahead of Man City. Even though City have a game in hand, they're going to be traveling to Sunderland on New Year's Day, and that will be an opportunity to cut the gap back to 2 points. But as of right now, Arsenal is unmatched, bro. Like, they are flying in the title race. The last few weeks, they look shaky, but they've won all 3 points in all the games that they look shaky. Last night, in the first half, they were not the best team. Villa were better than them in the first half last night, but they recovered brilliantly in the second half. That's the mark of champions. That's the mark of a team that wants to win silverware at the end of the season. That second half, Villa were not even close. Like, they couldn't lay a glove on Arsenal in that second half. Arsenal were miles better than Villa in the second half last night. What we saw from Villa in the first half, that's what Arsenal went to the dressing room and they applied the same in the second half. They suffocated Villa. They were winning possession high up the pitch, and they punished Aston Villa mercilessly in that second half. What a game that was from Arteta's side. Congratulations on the 3 points. Congratulations on passing a huge test in the title race. But like I always tell you guys, this title race is not over yet. Like, we still have a lot of games to go. I think the first half of the season is just concluding. So we still have a whole second half of the season to go. But as of right now, kudos to Arsenal. You guys have been amazing so far this season, and you deserve your place at the top of the table. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Adios.